Welcome to the session on enterprise observability, the key to effective IT management. Enterprises today must harness data-driven insights to better understand user behavior, make crucial business decisions, boost revenue, and ultimately reduce costs. As technology leaders, you are constantly assessing the health of system, the performance of software, and the customer experiences delivered. However, the challenges of failing infrastructure or production errors can severely disrupt these experiences, thereby posing significant challenges without the right tools. Over the course of the session today, presented by SolarWinds in collaboration with ETCIO, we will explore how observability specifically addresses these challenges, allowing enterprise to achieve full stack observability and unlock real business value. We will also unpack how leveraging full stack observability can accelerate your digital transformation journey through innovative use cases that demonstrate the tangible benefits of effective IT management. Joining me for the session are our esteemed speakers, Saurabh Sharma, Head of Channels, Sales India, and SARC SolarWinds, and Neeraj Kumar, Director for Solutions Engineering, APJ and GSI SolarWinds. Saurabh, Neeraj, thank you so much for taking time out and joining us for this session.
Thanks a lot, Vaishnavi. Thanks a lot for that great summary, great introduction. I think you've kind of set the context right. Now, yes, as Vaishnavi said, my name is Saurabh. I run the sales channels for India and SARC as a region. I'm also accompanied by Neeraj, one of our APJ leaders who runs the solution engineering. Now, moving on to the next slide here. Basically, we all know about all this, right? But just to put a context around what are we hearing from leaders like you that our teams under you is something that what do we do with AI? How do we increase our user experience? What is digital transformation? What is how do I marry the journey to cloud to a journey to on-prem, right? Because both of them coexist. How do I look at a holistic picture of my IT in one single screen? Now these are questions, these are some things which are coming up to us on a day-to-day basis, and that's something that we need to try and address as soon as possible and try to get onto something which is a continuous modernization or effective use of tech modernization as we may say, right? This is what we've learned from leaders like you and would like to chat a little bit about it with you guys, right? Moving on. Now, what actually happens? Now, this is a very, very common name or common theme or common thing that happens to all of us, right? Running IT businesses. And leaders like you have kind of explained us that we architect, we lose a lot of productive time while we create these rooms. And there are at minimum, let's say 2 or 3 instances in a month that we are forced to create war rooms, wherein minimum, let's say 15 to 20 odd heads join, and we try to figure out what actually has happened, which is impacting the end user experience. Either his app is running slow or is not working at all, right? But these are something which are still there happening across. Thanks to IT, now people can join online or in person, but still it is something that we spend a lot of time on, and at least 2 or 3 times in a month, right? Moving on. Now exactly, there are 2 things that you see out here, right? MTTD or MTTR. And I'm sure you leaders have kind of taught us, so you are well aware about this. This is mean time to detect an outage, right? Now my traffic flows, let's say an end user is accessing an access point via a wireless controller, and that is talking right up to the application. Now, what has gone bad, what has gone wrong, or what has got latency to kind of result in user experiencing slowness? Now we need to try and find everything out, go to every point, figure out detect what exactly is the error, and then remediate it. How do I fix it as fast as possible? But yes, MTTD is the time spent on detection, and R is where we spend time on remediation, right? This happens in downtime and outages. Moving on, basically this happens why, right? These two slides that I talk about, war rooms and outages, this happens because still we are living in a world which is reactive, right? When a user complains, then we try to figure out, oh, what has happened, why that guy or why that branch or why that office of mine is not able to access, right? That is where we get into a reactive approach. What if we are in a world which tells us, like, this is going to happen day after tomorrow because of this thing? If we get into that state, we move from a reactive to a proactive or a planned manner, right? And we are able to try to find things wherein we create less of war rooms, we have less of downtimes, we have less of outages. Now, that is something which is a problem, correct? We are spending too much time. Time is value, time is money of all our key leaders, key resources, in trying to figure out why there is a slowness, why there is a downtime, why my digital experience of a user is getting impacted, right? Just wanted to set that context. Want to welcome you all and thank you. Now I would like to pass it over to my leader Neeraj out here. He's going to take it up from here. Neeraj, over to you.
Yeah, thanks everybody, and thanks Saurabh and Vaishnavi for setting the context. So now we understand what's the problem which we are trying to solve. And before I talk about how are we going to solve the problem and why that problem actually exists, let's do some quick poll to understand some of these aspects. Correct. So I will basically so can we start the poll, team? Yeah. So the question number one is, where are you running your workloads today? And the options are either all on-premise, majority on-premise, majority in cloud, or it's a mixed hybrid, which is cloud as well as on-premise. So we'll give some time for you to answer this, and looking forward to your responses.
The responses will help us understand the perspective, industry perspective as well, where everyone is on their journey.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Neeraj, where do we consider SaaS here?
Okay,
Okay.
so we have the results.
Answers.
Yeah, we have the results. Okay, so that's interesting. 75% actually is hybrid, which is cloud and on-premise. Okay, majority cloud, which is also pretty interesting, is 70%. There is no majority on-premise, while there is all on-premise, which is 8%, which is also pretty interesting. Okay, let's move on to second question. How confident are you with that your monitoring tools give you visibility into your hybrid IT environments? Now, answers are pretty obvious. Very confident, somewhat confident, not confident, or not sure. Interesting choice. So yeah. So again, looking forward to your response. Let's give it some time. So this is talking about your monitoring tools, monitoring visibility, observability tools. I mean, there are various names nowadays via which these are called. Yeah, so let's give it maybe 10 seconds more. Yeah, and let's see the responses. Okay. So, wow, interesting. Somewhat confident. Oh, 69%. That's pretty interesting. Somewhat confident where you don't know you're confident or not confident. Not confident also is 6%, and not sure is 6%, while only 19% say they are very confident. Okay, which is interesting. Let's move to the next question. So can we have the next question, Paul, please? Yeah. So the question is, how many monitoring and remediation tools? So while the earlier question was, are you confident about your monitoring tools? But the question is, how many monitoring and remediation tools typically your organization use today? Okay. And the answers are less than 5, between 5 to 10, greater 10, or not sure, which is again a pretty interesting choice. So yeah, again, let's wait for answers. Maybe 10 seconds more. Okay, let's have the results. Okay, so wow, this is a mixed result, roughly 44% between 5 to 10. Less than 5 is only 28%. So kind of 72% greater than 5, and 11% not sure. Okay. Okay, we'll take that. Let's move to kind of our final question and final ball. Okay. So what is the top feature you are expecting from your observability platform? Is it AI ops? That has actually become a buzzword these days. Visibility to your hybrid workloads, accelerated remediations, or integration with other tools. Okay. I mean, some choices could have been a combination of these, but let's go with a single choice just to get what is your top priority kind of. Yeah, so let's give it 10 more seconds. Okay, let's have the results. Oh, integration with other tools. Okay, so that's interesting.
Wow.
Accelerated remediation, visibility to hybrid workloads, and AI ops. Okay, so integration with other tools, actually science, but yeah, there are obviously more or less accelerated remediation, visibility to hybrid workloads, and AI ops also. Okay, that's great answers. Okay, so let's get started. So while we talked about business and digital transformation, and every customer or every IT leader we talk to are going through these initiatives, either creating new channels of engagement, new revenue sources, harnessing the power of data to take some business decisions or open up new streams and all. And actually IT, if we talk to, is trying to actually become a profit center rather from a cost center via the data-driven insights and obviously helping with the new business transformations and digital transformations. Correct. But this actually has its own set of complications, which are curtailing these business transformations, or somewhat they are leading also to these kind of complications, which we are seeing when we talk to IT leaders and CXOs like you. Now, one is obviously complexity. I mean, complexity is increasing day by day. We used to deal with data centers, now we have cloud. We used to deal with monolith apps, now we have microservices apps. We used to deal with typical traditional networks, now those are also getting software defined, correct? And we are moving towards harnessing a lot of data and insights, which is obviously leading us towards the data-driven and AI workloads and the data pipeline applications and all, correct? Obviously, there is a security challenges. I mean, threat actors are getting smarter day by day, and we have to be forefront of all that. There is obviously productivity challenge. We are asked to obviously do more with less or with the same number of resources. We obviously have remote or hybrid work. I mean, that's the new normal actually. I mean, there's no going back on that. And we obviously need to open access, and we need to help access of our applications from anywhere, from any devices, and also that people can consume these. There is obviously the problem of cost constraints and cost pressures, which is budget and resource constraints and all, correct? Now, all that implies is organizations are basically forced because of all of these things to modernize their network infra, applications, databases, and all. Embrace hybrid environments, which obviously came from the Paul answer that, yeah, I mean, most of you are using hybrid environments. It's not completely on-premise, it's not completely cloud. It's a hybrid. You have some workloads running in data center, you have some workloads running in cloud, correct? And organizations are also looking at flexible consumption models, value-based solutions. So if you spend X, you at least expect 3X to 5X value. And obviously the flexible consumption models. And obviously organizations are expecting to how we can improve operational efficiency, maybe use a bit of AI, machine learning, generative AI, and all of those things. Correct. Now, while we talked about business and digital transformation, we talked about what are some of the factors which is complicating this, which is obviously leading to some of these which we talked about. Now, all these is actually causing a lot of problems and challenges. Okay. And we talked about some of these earlier also, and we saw some of the all results also, correct? So there is a tool sprawl. There are so much, every new bit of technologies requires one more tool to do monitoring and management, okay? And you have so much tools that you are not able to live up to how do we have resources to manage and skill sets to manage all those different tools and solutions, all correct? All these things are also collecting, throwing in a lot of data without any context. So there's a data sprawl, which is obviously adding a lot of complexity and time to issue resolution. Okay. Now there is a visibility gaps and unknowns. Okay. Now this is interesting because traditional tools or traditional solutions are basically giving visibility into that particular siloed thing. Okay. Or they are not able to cater to the modern workloads. And they were good pretty much in understanding the known issues and you know what you need to monitor and you know what problems can happen, correct? So with the known thing, it was pretty good. But in a modern environments, you don't know what can go wrong, and you also don't know what need to be monitored, correct? And obviously the siloed approach doesn't gives you, it obviously leaves the visibility gaps, and correct? Now then there is obviously a skill talent gap where how do you understand what's going wrong in a modern complex environments, dynamic environments and all, correct? There are obviously a lot of alerts, a lot of events which data gets generated, which can also get lost. How do I make sense of all that data? What is the root cause? What is a noise? What I can ignore, and all of those aspects are all correct. Or if the person doesn't knows if there is an event or alert and how do I fix that, that probably gets ignored. So there is that kind of a talent gap and a fatigue, which obviously puts customer and end user experience at risk. Okay. And then there is a trade-off, which is interesting, which is how do I, whether I optimize for performance or whether I optimize for cost. Okay. So if I over provision to cater to performance and to cater to user experience so that nothing goes wrong, I am obviously incurring additional cost. But even if I optimize, I run a risk of missing SLAs and SLOs, which ultimately results in additional costs through fines and penalties and all of those things. Correct. So having looked at all these problems, how are we evolving? And this is more from a SolarWinds perspective that we have been in this business for last 25 years, correct? And we have also evolved in our approaches, and we'll talk about it, correct? So if you look at it, a lot of customers and a lot of you know us for network monitoring, infra monitoring. We started cloud monitoring and all. And it was all good, which was basically good from, what you need to monitor, and you also know what problems can go wrong, correct? So you can do that domain-specific visibilities, which is all good. But in a dynamic environment where we don't know what can go wrong, and we don't also know a lot of times what needs to be monitored, idea is that let's monitor everything, which is basically called full stack visibility. Let's monitor right from all the entities, right from storage to server to network to infrastructure to applications to user experience, security, IoT, everything, correct? And let's try to get metrics, events, logs, and traces from all of those data. That's the full stack visibilities and all, correct? Now, how can we leverage all that data to understand what is normal, what is not normal? And we can't have a human analyze all that data. So we have a AI and machine learning analyze all that data and comes up with optimizations, comes up with recommendations and automations and all of those things, which we keep on doing inside our environment, correct? Also, if there are issues happening, we obviously follow the incident management process and we do the remediations, correct? So that's the AI ops powered observability and service management for hybrid IT, correct? And where we are moving is where any new entity gets auto gets added to the monitoring and management, self-healing enablement and all, while as an operations, we focus more on the business outcomes as well as a kind of a visual operations from a perspective. So that's where things are moving. And as a company, we have also been evolving our approach towards all of these areas where we want to go and where we want to reach, correct? And this also aligns with most of you and the customers we talk to, where customers, wherever they are in the phase of their journeys, we can take them and we can drive all of these three initiatives for them. Okay. Now let's look a little bit deeper into how this thing works. Okay, so I talked about, SolarWinds as a company has been pretty good in the network infrastructure, and obviously we added cloud monitoring and visibility as part of the platform. We also do digital user experience, where we can monitor how your users are perceiving the applications which they are accessing, either real user experience, or we can also run some tests from various locations and do that synthetic user monitoring. We also do APM, which is application performance management, how we can understand your custom applications as well as COTS applications, and we can understand how they are performing. For custom applications, we can obviously go till the line of code and give you insights till the line of the code, database calls, and all of those things also. We also do database performance. Security is also becoming more and more important, which users are accessing their applications. What are the events which are coming from various devices, security devices? So we also do security compliance, which is a SIAM and access rights management portion. And we also have our own service management solution, which is Service Desk, which does the ITSM, IT service management part, and the asset management part. Okay. Now, important to understand, and as a company, our principle has been to provide a simple, powerful, and secure solution. So it's a simple, easy to consume, so that you get a quicker time to value, as well as time. It has, at the same time, it has all the components so that it's a powerful, and obviously it's a secured platform, because security is what we go as part of our philosophy. Now, all these we have made to be simple, so that it's all part of the same platform for you to consume. And that platform is secure by design, built using cloud native principles, powered by AIOps machine learnings, also supports flexible APIs for any other data to be ingested to this platform, in case if you're using any other solutions also, or any other domain managers also. And it also supports OpenTelemetry, which is a pretty much open standards a way or a framework and a library to ingest any metrics, events, logs, and traces data to the platform. So we also support OpenTelemetry, correct? And that platform actually leads you to move from monitoring to observability and AI ops to a no ops or a automated ops, what we call as, correct? And the way it works is that you have all these entities, right from user experience to network infrastructure to cloud, databases and all, which are sending logs, metrics, events, traces, or user experience, which is behavior, and providing you as part of the platform with diagnostics, insights, and obviously the automation. Okay. The goal ultimate is what earlier we talked about, is that how you can quickly get time to value, how you can solve the detection problem, which is mean time to detect, which typically is, which takes the 80% of the time, how we can reduce that. And once you know what is the problem and what is the thing to solve, it's all about remediation, which is the time to remediate, which typically we have seen hardly take 20% of the time. Okay. So that's the platform. Now, while it looks overall as a SolarWinds platform, let's go a little bit deeper into this, more from a technical perspective, so that you can understand, because there is a lot which goes behind the scenes of the platform also. So let me start with entities. So these are the entities from where we want to collect data, and we want to collect telemetry data, right from applications to databases, to where these are hosted, which can be infrastructure or cloud, to how these are connected, which is the networks, whether it's software-defined or a traditional networks, to users who are using these applications, to IoT devices and sensors nowadays who are sending data, and also all these become entities. And what are they emitting? Correct. They are basically emitting signals and inputs, which is logs, traces, metrics, events, and user experience, or you can also call it a behavior, how they perceive the applications whom they are using. Now, we take all these data into the platform, correct? So the first part is obviously the observability piece. And as I mentioned, we do that full stack visibility, correct? So idea is to collect data from every entity because we are obviously solving the known and known problem, where we are solving what problems to solve, where we know. We also know where things can go wrong, but there are a lot of newer things where we don't know what problems can go on and what is to solve. So it's all about getting all these data into a kind of a observability platform, which can be self-hosted or software as a service, which we provide. And there you get network, infrastructure, cloud, you get virtualizations, you have your voice technologies, you have your service applications, you have your app APM and digital experience, you can have databases, security, and all of those things. Correct. On top of it, we have AI ops engine. So it takes all these data and helps you with anomaly detection. So anomaly detection is all about you take all these data and understand what is normal, what is abnormal, without asking you to write rules and setting up thresholds and all of those things are not correct. You obviously have alert stack, RCA assist, where it helps with RCA across all of these data, does a bit of correlation, clusters those alerts as per the topology, and all of those things are not correct. You also, from the data, you can also gather some insights and recommendations that what is the action you need to take. For example, this query needs to be optimized like this, correct? This table needs to be fine-tuned like this, correct? This network device is maybe running a older version, and this is the recommendation to patch that, or it has deviated from a master configuration or a golden configuration, and how do you ensure that it's coming to the right configuration and all, correct? So you have those insights and recommendations. And you also have a bit of a forecasting, where you can forecast when my resource bottlenecks or resource limits are going to get hit, so that you can take some optimizations and predictive actions before it actually starts impacting end users, correct? Then there is an event correlation manager piece, which is a very interesting piece, where in case, I mean, if you're using obviously other solutions and all to collect some data, and how can you ingest those events also to this solution and do that overall correlation, so that you basically create a single incident to the service desk or a IT solution, and all of those things are not correct. So it also takes leverage, obviously topology-based correlations, third-party event ingestions and all. And it can also use AI-based correlations and clustering, so that your ultimate goal is to get to a root cause quickly, so that you can create a single ticket for the right team to fix up that problem quickly. Okay. So you have the service desk piece, which is the service management piece, which is all about incident problem change, service level management. You obviously have the asset management and all of those things and all. And there also we have a lot of these AI features, where you have a smart incidents, you have agent assist with all those Gen AI capabilities to summarize incidents, match to the relevant runbook and workflows, which can fix up these issues quickly. So idea is to optimize the life of everybody who's using these kind of solutions, either to detect or actually to remediate, correct? Now coming to that remediate piece, we also have this orchestrator piece, which can actually do that runbook automation, which is the remediation workflows across networks or servers where that needs to be run. And it also provides that overall automation and orchestration engine, where you can run any of your automation workflows, correct? Again, as I said, I'll reiterate the point. Idea is to simplify the data collection and the monitoring, and move from monitoring to observability, full stack visibility. Simplify the RCA, which is how we can help mean time to detect and mean time to remediate. And then coming to the remediation piece, how we can consolidate and correlate, quickly get to the root cause, and finally, eventually run that in an automated fashion, so that everything works in a kind of a seamless manner, which obviously improves your mean time to detect and mean time to remediate, correct? So that it can reduce and MTTR. And there are a lot of optimizations and automations built in, which you can continuously run, so that you improve your mean time between failures ultimately. Now, this all platform obviously secure by design, AI by design. We have also started leveraging a lot of AI capabilities wherever we can ease the life of the operations folks, but at the same time, keeping in mind that we have to be responsible AI principles in mind. Okay. Now, output of all of these things is visualizations, intelligent alerts, noise reduction we talked about, connected insights, smarter incident response. And the value is accelerate detection, accelerate remediation, increase your operational efficiency and uptime, streamline support management, preemptive maintenance, like you fix up issues and optimize things, predict things, and optimize things before it actually starts impacting end users or your customers or partners. And then obviously continuous optimizations and automations. Okay. Now, ultimately, it's leading you to three things which we care about: increasing productivity, reducing cost, and manage complexity. And this actually gets used across the board, either by CXOs, DevOps folks, platform engineering folks, IT ops, SREs or app ops, as well as security operations and database admin teams. Now, this was a detailed deep dive into the platform and what are the things which we are providing as part of the platform. Now, simplified is you obviously can take each of these things based on where you are in the maturity curve. You can start with observability. If you have AI ops and event management capabilities, you also have our service management solutions and all. And you also have the security portfolio and some of smaller tools which we provide for automation tasks and all of those things and all. So wherever are you in your journey, we are there to help you with the power of the overall SolarWinds approach, which is simple to consume, at the same time powerful, providing all the capabilities and built on secure by design and AI by design principles. Now, we talked about the solution and the platform. We talked about what is the problem we are trying to solve. I'll pass it to Saurabh to talk a little bit about our company.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Neeraj, for that detailed, powerful presentation about our SolarWinds platform. And we are all, these are certain things that we are really, really proud of. 25 years is a long standing journey. We are not getting sold. Okay, we are not getting sold. We are going to be SolarWinds so long. We are a public listed company. Over $1 billion in the world. We've got proud 3 lakh customers. We are about 2,000 plus employees worldwide. We call ourselves proud Solarians. And how the industry is going towards, right? Perpetual is moving towards subscription. So are we. And that's bringing a lot of value to leaders like you. And that's where we are growing the business year on year on a high double digit, right? So these are certain good things that we are very strong on, and with support of people like you, leaders like you, who are coaching us, continuously guiding us to improve our platform, to bring more value to you. And that's where we are backed up by our existing clients and new clients, and we are implementing a lot of things and giving back to the community, right? Moving on, we've got, these are the awards, recognitions that we have. By the way, one more powerful point which I would want to mention out here, we are very proud of the fact that 496 out of Fortune 500s uses SolarWinds, right? And that's the power of the brand. That's the trust that people have given, you have given to us, and hence we are continuously learning, improving, and ensuring that we increase your end user digital experience to be better day by day, minute by minute. And that's how we are trying to build the whole ecosystem. Also, this slide talks about we've got awards, recognition across the entire stuff of the platform that Neeraj just spoke about, be it database, be it network, be it monitoring, be it server monitoring on the cloud, on the VM, etc. And how do we connect all those dots and bring in that intelligence to all of you? That is something that has got recognized by a lot of industry standards, and we've got our position in the leadership board in terms of awards, recognition, and stuff like that. But the most powerful thing is our customers, are the leaders like you who are there with us all the time, and we are really proud about that fact. Now, summarizing what we've spoken about, and Neeraj, correct me if I go anywhere wrong on this one, but exactly what we do is we create war rooms, right? We need to be predictive. We need to see what can go wrong. If we are in that state, for sure, we are much better in delivering user experience. Now, that's where SolarWinds comes. And the real thing that we are up to now, I remember the poll question, 50% of us said that you look at observability to integrate multiple tools. Now, that's the magic thing. SolarWinds remove all tools and put that tool sprawl into a single tool. Because I connect your network right up to the application and give you a full stack visibility, which is what Neeraj just talked about, right? And that is where we bring in cloud, we bring in intelligent network, we bring in software defined, we bring in hardware, we bring in VMs, we bring in hypervisors, and everything together, put together, give you a full stack visibility to ensure we are delivering what is called as digital transformation, right? People adopting technology. And that is what is going to bring a lot of operational efficiency, plus at the same time, bring your cost down, right? Having said that, with one more powerful thing that Neeraj spoke about is the event correlation, right? Now we have multiple tools, correct? And how do we correlate everything? What is it going to do? It's going to really reduce the kind of alerts when we get when and make them more intelligent and give you those out of 100 probably one actionable item to action on, so that we our mean time to detect not only resolve comes down drastically, also the mean time to remediate, because it gives an actionable what we need to do, and it gives a recommendation to remediate. That's way how we are going to improve your operational excellence and deliver digital transformation to the end user, which they are going to feel and face. Now, with that, moving on, I hope we are bang on time. We are not over time.
We're not at
Oh,
all.
this is my old photograph that does not have my beard, but okay, I am recognizable by my mustaches at least.
Good. So it's all good. Thank you so much, Neeraj and Saurabh. It was a learning experience for me as well. And there were so many insights that usually are confused with. Monitoring becomes synonymous with observability, but there's such a distinction between them. And you also addressed several challenges that enterprises face, be it tool sprawl or even choosing the right products. It gets to them eventually. But these are my. And thank you for addressing those and thank you for throwing light on that. In the same vein and on the sidelines, I have a couple of questions. So, Neeraj, if you would like to go first, organizations do have existing investments in various monitoring and also remediation tools. How do they go about making the shift to enterprise observability?
Yeah, that's a very valid question, Vaishnavi, and that is something which you obviously saw on the tools, and that actually comes in almost every discussion which we have with our customers and all, correct? So we have a process. I mean, ultimately, it goes as per the process that we are obviously looking at. Nobody's happy about that. Okay, so everybody is looking at tools consolidation, and wherever customers we talk to, they will say, okay, we have more than 5, we have 10, we have 15, and all of those things. And everybody wants to reach it to less than 5 as a number. I mean, obviously the ideal state would be to reach to 1 or 2. But yeah, everybody obviously strives or aspires to be that less than 5. Okay.
Yes.
Now, we have a process where we work with the customers to understand the visibility gaps, wherever there are gaps and all, correct? And start with that. Okay, let's have that visibility with SolarWinds. And if there are some tools which they are very happy about, which is solving some of the visibility challenges or some of the domain, which they're happy with a certain tool to monitor, it's fine. We can integrate that and take that events and alerts and metrics into our platform, where we can provide that overall correlation and consolidation layer. Idea is to obviously reduce the alerts and actionables and create to an actionable root cause alert, which obviously gets ticketed and remediated, and correct. So we can work with organizations in that kind of a journey. We definitely understand there is existing investments and all. And it's not like we are asking you that, okay, tools control means that you rip and replace everything, correct? We can work with you over a period of time, and we can walk through a process so that eventually over a period of time, as per the plan, we move to less than 5 tools. And we obviously get some of the stuff on SolarWinds, some we can integrate, consolidate, some we can retire because that's already there as part of the platform, and that's how it works out like that.
So you still work with the existing operation processes, but do not aim to disrupt it in the short term. Eventually adjust to the lesser tools in the longer term.
That's correct. And you brought a very good point that it's just not about tools. It's also about the existing operation processes also, correct?
Yes.
Idea of this tools consolidation is also to improve the operational efficiency and how we can make that process also effective. But it's a journey. I mean, it can't be, I'll be honest, it can't be done in like, okay, you decide that you shut down everything and tomorrow move to a new set of tools, correct? It's a journey and we are happy to work and partner with our customers towards that journey.
That's such a point, Neeraj. It's a moderately well-placed transformation journey, and that's what a lot of leaders also look forward to. Before we move to the second question, may I request the audience that over the course of the discussion, if you find any questions that need clarification or further details, kindly leave them in the chat box. Saurabh, Neeraj, and I will address them at the end of the session. So Saurabh, over to you. When you talk about digital transformation, various organizations stages of modernization, cloud adoption, migration. They are on different adoption maturity curve. How does SolarWinds cater differently to all of them?
Now that's a fantastic question, and that's something that we try and attempt and resolve day in day out with all the leaders that we work with. Even an existing client who's been with us, let's say from past 25 years, they are moving to a journey, right? 25 years back, cloud never existed. Something called as ISaaS, PaaS, or SaaS never existed, right? They were on-prem workload. There was a single ERP, there was a single database, and then even they are moving towards a transformation, and so are we, right? So we completely align our products, our solution, our whole product engineering team towards how do we service the customer at best, right? So wherever they are in the journey, as Neeraj likely mentioned earlier, wherever you are in the journey, we might be able to solve with certain tools of ours. We might give you a full stack observability, which is going to be a standalone tool, but it's going to be a journey, right? We may consolidate our tool or integrate our tool with some of your tools and then give you a full stack. And we will do a phase-wise approach, or we'll kind of onboard your cloud, your VMs, and your network and give you a full stack, or we may do a rip and replace, or we may coexist, or whatever. But whatever your directions are, dear leaders, we are going to align with your goals, with your things, and SolarWinds is completely flexible. Wherever you are, we are there to assist you to ensure we reduce complexity, give you a better bird eye or eagle eye view with clear visibility, time to value, and give you a performance matrix, which Neeraj talked about, is also going to show you some kind of financial planning in terms of your budget, what's going to be I would be needing in terms of investment to improvise better. Right? So I hope I was able to answer your question, Vaishnavi.
Yes, Saurabh, thank you so much for that. Neeraj, one last question to you. You talked about evolution from monitoring to observability, AI ops, and autonomous operations. In fact, you and Saurabh both addressed it. What are some of the shifts you're seeing, Neeraj, and how SolarWinds platform supports them?
Yeah, definitely. If you look at it, if you look at shifts, why we are talking of observability, correct? As I mentioned, when it was traditional environments, and I have been in this industry for like last 20 years. I've been working on various monitoring and automation solutions all my last 20 years of experience. I obviously worked as an implementation engineer of all these tools. Then I moved to a pre-sales role. Then I moved to an overall practice role. And then obviously I now run the pre-sales teams and all, correct? Or a solutions engineering team or architecture team, as they call it, correct? I have seen the evolution. I mean, earlier we were more focusing on network and server monitoring because that the things to monitor, correct? Then obviously came these then it came the applications monitoring, used to call the top-down approach to monitoring. Let's focus on user experience. Let's focus on applications and code and all of those things, databases and all, correct? But servers, infrastructure, and network is not going anywhere, correct? You need everything. You need the bottom-up approach also. You need the top-down approach also, correct? Then we move to microservices from monolith applications and all. And in future, obviously, and we are already moving to data pipelines, AI workloads, RAG applications, and all of those things. So there is a shift already happening in the industry, correct? But obviously, monitoring and observability is not going anywhere. That's going to be there, correct? You need to monitor and observe everything. Okay. Why is called observability? Because it's a concept of unknown unknowns, where you don't know a lot of in the new things. What to need to monitor, what can go wrong. So you basically start getting all sorts of data which the system throw in. So observability is about what is the inputs and signals the system or the underlying entity is giving you, which you can ingest to understand the behavior of the underlying entity, correct? So you are ingesting every data, and then you are making sense of that data, and obviously you are analyzing that data and coming with insights and all of those things and all, correct? And actions to on top of it. Now, where we are moving, obviously, I'll break it into 3 areas. One is the data collection part, which is how we can get visibility from each of these layers. The second part is obviously the AI part, or the insights and recommendations and actions and root cause part, which is the second layer. And obviously the third is the automation part, where things are happening, correct? So in a data collection part, we are obviously, while we have our own collection mechanism, we also support API-based integrations to take any data. We also have open telemetry support. We also support some of these open source stuff, which a lot of customers are using. For example, Prometheus or a Telegraph. So we can also take that data and put into our platform. So that's the data collection part, where how we are evolving as a company. Then the second part is the AI, and basically the insights, actions, and recommendations part, RCA part, correct? So how quickly you can get to the RCA, how you can analyze all those data and all. So there's a lot of AI which is getting built into the solutions, which is helping with anomaly detection. You don't have to set up thresholds and all of those things. You have RCA assist, and there are a lot of other things which are coming, where you can summarize the issues, summarize the logs, get to root cause quickly, and all of those things and all, correct? So a lot of AI which is getting built in, because obviously we have now the power of AI and machine learning and all, correct? Recommendations, insights, and all of those things based on the knowledge base which is already available. How can we integrate all those knowledge bases into the platform, correct? And then the third part is the automation part, where how can we create runbooks? How can we help? So once a ticket gets created, I mean, how can ease the life of that engineer who is working on that incident, where we give them also a power of generative AI to summarize those alerts, summarize those incidents, match relevant runbooks and knowledge sources where they can use all of those things and all, correct? And idea is that this all happens, like if you talk of connected car, everything happens seamlessly, correct? I mean, similarly, it's all about IT. Everything should happen seamlessly connected, where just visualizing things, everything is going fine. And we are more focusing on business outcomes if we want to drive, rather than troubleshooting things and firefighting things and all, correct? Now, if I talk to anybody, I mean, nobody these days wants to work in IT operations. I mean, everybody is looking at how we can ease life of ours, correct? And that's where our platform is all about, how we can help our customers make their life easier. That's what we are doing.
Absolutely. That's a good motto to have. And that should be the cornerstone of every business operation, I believe. Having said that, AI does add an element of you going proactive with your approach of the observability approach. And if monitoring is your top down and bottom up, then I believe observability is everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
So that's a good image to have. Now, sort of, Neeraj, we have we've spoken about observability, we've spoken about AI ops, automation. I'm sure the audience also has a few questions. So let's address those one by one. Perfect. So either of you can take this up. How do you collect behavior data? Arun wants to know.
Yes. So when we tell behavior, it's all about user experience, correct? So let's say users are using your applications, correct? So we can collect that real user experience data, which is what we call as a end user experience monitoring or transactions monitoring. So we basically embed something inside the piece of code so that it can start collecting that data, let's say for our web applications. We also have mechanisms to, for example, you know that you have an application, let's say, which is hosted out of let's say Mumbai data center, correct? And there is users who are accessing from all across India, and maybe some users who are accessing, let's say, from other side of the world, other parts of the world also, correct? So you can obviously set up some tests or probes from various locations and run those transactions so that you practically know how these things are behaving and how those transactions are behaving. So we can do that synthetic also. Now, a lot of these capabilities we have built, I didn't address it earlier, but while obviously SolarWinds has a lot of capabilities, we have also gone ahead and acquired a bunch of companies which provide a lot of these kind of capabilities. While we have also built a lot of things which is as part of the platform which are there. So via inorganic and organic growth, we have the power to do everything.
Noted. So do you have configuration management database, and how auto discovery of IT assets are announced?
Yes. So let's answer the first question, which is configuration management of database. So I would say we have what we call it as database performance analyzer, part of our observability portfolio, which basically does the database monitoring, query monitoring. Basically it also gives the fine tuning recommendations and all of those things and all. So that's what we provide from an observability and obviously the automation perspective. When it comes to database management, like if you want to provision some databases and all, you'll typically use your existing database management solutions like which every database vendor already provides. So we are more focusing on the observability, automation, recommendations, fine tuning, not only the database performance monitoring, fault monitoring, but also doing that query performance monitoring, recommendations analysis, and all of those things are not correct. On the second question, we do have what we call as part of our service desk asset management. We do have a discovery module which can do the discovery now, correct? Similarly, as part of our observability portfolio, also we obviously have the discovery module which can do network discovery, which can do infra discovery. If you connect to your cloud instances, it can do all the things which you are running at your workloads and all. So all these discoveries are definitely there, which can discover and right from your network to infrastructure to applications or to any other assets via the asset discovery and the CI discovery, which we have as part of service discovery.
Noted. So the next question has a little bit of nuance to it, and I'll take you through it. So with digital transformation, of course, it can be in legacy organization or any organization with complex integrated systems. And with this complexity comes security risks. And sometimes the systems used for monitoring also become part of the problem. Now, the question Anish asks is, how can IT management effectively handle the monitoring, security, and performance optimization of such interconnected infrastructures? But the caveat is while minimizing risks and ensuring system resilience.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good question. And as I mentioned, if I look at overall holistically, we follow what we call a secure by design principles in our solutions and all, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So any integrations, if we are doing, obviously we keep it secure, correct? Now, if you look at it, we obviously support SNMP, WMI and all, which have been the protocols which have been used for earlier integrations and all of those things and all. But
Yes.
with the set of devices and new set of infrastructures and all, there's a lot more focus on API and RESTful API integrations and all of those things and all, correct? So we follow both the mechanisms based on what is the comfort level of the customers and all of things, and also based on what the device or the infra supports and all, correct? So we go via that secure design. The communications in our solutions are also completely secured and all of those things and all. So well, it will be difficult to go specifics into that, into the questions and all, because we need to understand where are the risks which the person who asked the questions is seeing. But yeah, on overall, we follow secure by design principles. We also, one of the aspects what solution also does is that it also, we also provide a SIAM solution, which a lot of customers use, where we can understand these security threats and incidents from everywhere, and we can showcase in a SIAM solution user access management, rights entitlements, and all we can also manage, correct? We can also understand the vulnerabilities and the risks associated, where we can match you and you can help leverage that security dashboard to understand the vulnerabilities and the remediations part of it. Maybe it requires a patching, maybe it requires a patch upgrade or OS upgrade and all of those things and all, correct? So we obviously leverage a lot of these aspects and all. I think that gives a glimpse of where we are moving.
Yep. So the crux is security by design.
Yep.
So it's not an afterthought.
Yes.
It's
So
part of
security is built in, and obviously lately we have also started doing AI by design, obviously catering to the responsible AI, because when you talk AI, I mean, it can go haywire, correct? And there is obviously the data has to be accurate and the predictions also has to be accurate. It's not
I
like
cannot hallucinate, yes.
ChatGPTs and all, where even if the response is not accurate, I mean, we are analyzing that. But in IT system, you need a little bit of accuracy. So we have to be responsible. We follow that responsible AI principle also. So security and AI by design, and obviously following the responsible AI.
AI for security and AI in security. Yes. So, all right. So last question. Do you have solutions that support small and medium businesses? And Asha makes a point that also they may not have enormous data like larger organizations relatively.
Yeah.
So I will attempt to answer that. Neeraj, if you are okay, right? So we are there relevant to every organization, and we are more than happy to assist any size of organization in their digital transformation journey. We would love to be a partner to any organization at all who believes that for sure we can add certain amount of value, right? And there's going to be different models. We've got a lot of partners, and we do business across the world through our partners, and that's how we are going to ensure that we deliver the right set of value to every spectrum of the client. It's not that we are there in the enterprise only, or in the bankings and all that only. We are there in every client base, and we have ways and means to address every opportunity that we cite and ensure that we try to put our best foot forward to get selected, right, as a solution.
Okay. All right. Asha, there you have it. As Saurabh says, it's for everyone. And in the end, I will pull up a slide where you have a QR code. We have a couple of questions and then we'll move to that. How do you aggregate the logs from different sources? Neeraj or Saurabh, one of you would like to take it up?
Yes. So we can ingest logs also in our solutions. I mean, there are mechanisms. You use one of the log collectors, or you use one of the hotel OpenTelemetry, or you use one of the other log forwarders and all. So we can ingest logs into our solution. That's not an issue. That's obviously one of the important pillars of observability in the logs, metrics, events, and traces. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes, logs.
And by the law of land, it's kind of become a mandate as well to retain logs for a certain period of time. And that's something that's inbuilt in SolarWinds. Just want to top it up.
Is there any specific time period it's meant to be retained?
Oh, we can do it for 365 days, but I guess the government mandate is about at max 45 or 90 days. But we can do it about a year or up to a year on the tool, right? Live on the tool. That's what we can travel back in time. Let's say from 16th of September 2023 till today, we can see live on the tool.
Noted. So that's a good point. So Neeraj and Saurabh, if you could pull up that slide where we have the QR code. So if you have any further questions or any clarifications, do scan the QR code, everybody, for more information, more insights into SolarWinds. And if you want to get in touch with the team, the information is all out there, and we will also facilitate that if need be. Thank you very much for taking time out and for participating in the conversation. And thank you, Neeraj and Saurabh, for giving us all the insights. And thank you, SolarWinds and the ETCIO team, for facilitating this wonderful conversation. I hope you had a great time, and we also learned a lot. Thank you, and have a great day ahead.